Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Star Trek Online Free-to-Play Edition. In the last video, we finished the Nimbus storyline. Nimbus down. That is good. This prepares us now to begin the Romulan storyline, which is very fun. So it's called the Romulan Mystery. Devastated and broken, the Romulans are united now only by their quest for revenge for a lost world. Their Empress seeks allies and technology from the distant Delta Quadrant, but even that may not be enough to restore her shattered people to their former glory. Heading out, Starbase 39 Sierra monitors the dangers of Romulan space. Are you ready? Pick up Damar Khan on Starbase 114 and bring him to Starbase 39 Sierra. Starbase 114 is located in the Sela system in the Beta Quadrant. Go to the Sela system, which is located in the Beta Quadrant, to meet Damar Khan at Starbase 114. Then transport him to Starbase 39, which is located in the Beta Quadrant. This is basically just a mission to get us out into Romulan space, not necessarily an actual, long mission. This is very short. The actual mission we're going to do today is called Empress Sela, so that's the one we're going to do. But let's go pick up Damar Khan and get him to where he needs to go so we can figure out where Starbase 39 used to be in the past. It was a pretty big hub. It's not so much now, but it used to be a pretty big deal a long time ago. It's still a place you can go. It's an open zone, kind of like ESD, but ESD is just where everybody goes. No one really goes Starbase 39. Just no reason to. So we are on our way. And somebody just gave us diplomatic immunity. I don't know if you noticed that, but behind that menu there, somebody must have recognized us. Anyway, they've given us diplomatic immunity, and that means we are now traveling a little faster, actually. Warp 7.56 because of that. Normally we wouldn't be going that fast. But even going that fast, look how slow we're going. We are inching along like an inchworm toward the Sela system. So, yeah, that's happening. That's going to take a while to get there. How much EC does it cost? Doesn't even say. I don't want to waste my energy credits. What am I thinking? I've got only enough. I barely have enough, so I better not spend it. Wonder what this extra satellite code does. I got it from the Nimbus mission we did, the last one, but I don't think I need it anymore. The Gorn working in the canyon on Nimbus were carrying these satellite codes. Getting enough of them will help you hack into the main satellite dish. Yeah, I don't need it. It's just a leftover. Discard. Now that's gone. Excellent. Okay. So now we just wait till we get there. We're actually getting a lot closer now. You know what I should be checking is my DOF assignments. Why aren't I doing that? There we go. Diplomatic. Keep the diplos going. And you fellas are still going. Every time we enter a new sector, they change. And I am just doing diplomatic right now. I've kind of dabbled in some others for some reason, but yeah, I'm just going to stick to diplomatic for right now. I know doing all the others would help me level faster, but I don't want to level faster. Because that's going to, well, I just don't want to level too fast. I just want to work on the diplomatic right now. Okay, let's do continue pick up Damar Khan. And a long load time. Of course, always a long load time. This game is known for its long load times like this. Sometimes you'll snap into the next level. Sometimes you will not. This is one of those you will not times, as you can see. Inching our way towards 2%. Inching our way towards 3%. Yeah, that's crazy. There we go. Okay, so we just need to actually beam down to this starbase. Oh yes, we didn't talk about our new ability that we have. I was going to do that in the last episode, and I totally forgot. Tactical Initiative 1, so let's cover it now before we beam down here. This was our new ability we got at... What level did we get it at? Got it at 27, so we're 28 now. We got it in the last level. It's called Tactical Initiative. It's a space power. I'm going to hover over it here. You can see it targets friend and self, and it reduces the recharge timers on tactical bridge officers by, right now, 0.65% for 45 seconds. So a very minor reduction in timers, but this will improve over time. This will get better. So that is just a way to basically reduce our timers. I'll put it... I don't know where I want it. I'll just leave it there, sure. Oh, right there. That works for me. So just remember to put the button on your hotbar if you don't have it on there already. And it is just a way to reduce the timers, you know, the cooldown on your buttons here. So that is something that will help. Something that tactical officers have as an innate power that others do not. Sometimes those timers on things are killer, so having the ability to reduce them can definitely help, especially on the long ones, the ones that are like 2 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. It can help. Another long load time. Come on. There we go. Alright, pick up the Marcon, who is somewhere over here. Talk to the Marcon. Hello, Commander. Admiral Quinn told me that you would be available to take me to Starbase 39 Sierra. From there, I'm going to the Hobus system. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have about that area. Fascinating place. I've made it my life's work, this life anyway. So what's interesting here is this is going to introduce us to the Romulans and the Hobus system and the destruction of Romulus. So if you do not know about the destruction of Romulus, it did happen. It's a Prime Universe event. So no matter what you think of the JJ Trek, the destruction of Romulus happened in the Prime Universe. So this is the universe we're playing in the game, and this is the universe that you know and love, and Romulus is gone. This life, I am a Trill. Some among my people are lucky enough to be joined with a symbiotic life form. We share our bodies with them, and in return they share a lifetime of knowledge and memories with us. I am Khan's 7th host, and most of us have been scientists. My predecessor, Lenara Khan, was working to create artificial wormholes. I studied the effects of supernova. Tell me about the Hobus system. In 2387, the star in the Hobus system went supernova. The resulting explosion devastated the planets in the system, of course, but then it created a chain reaction that cut a path of destruction more than 500 light-years long. More than a dozen systems were affected by the Hobus event, most notably the Romulus system. Both Romulus and Remus were destroyed. Billions lost their lives. The thing is, an M-class planet like Romulus should have been protected by its stellar magnetosphere and its planetary magnetic field. They act like shields to protect the planet from radiation, and a supernova blast is highly energetic radiation. If the supernova is large enough, it will overwhelm those defenses, but the Romulans should have had decades to prepare for the wave's arrival. As it was, they only had hours. Didn't Starfleet try to help the Romulans? Ambassador Spock attempted to organize an evacuation, but the Romulan Senate refused. I guess they thought they had more time. So, you know, that did happen. Spock did try to save New Romulus with red matter. This is a thing. That was a horrible time. Ambassador Spock had a plan to stop the wave, but after the destruction, a Romulan named Nero blamed him. Nero had a ship of awesome power. We still don't know everything about the Narada, but we think the Romulans used Borg technology to create it. Nero destroyed a dozen of our ships, and even attacked a Klingon fleet led by General Worf. I hear Worf barely survived. Ultimately, Nero confronted Spock in the Hobus system. Spock managed to use red matter to create an artificial singularity to contain the worst of the supernova's blast. But both he and Nero were lost. So, obviously, that picks up where the new movies take place. But, yeah, all those events actually happened. What made the Hobus supernova so destructive? The prevailing theory is that the radiation from the supernova somehow traveled through subspace. Otherwise, it would have taken more than 500 years to reach Romulus. But how that occurred, we still don't know. Starfleet has been studying the area since 2388. We have some theories, and Admiral Janeway has been instrumental in getting us resources for more research, but unless there is some sort of breakthrough, we may never know exactly what happened. Did the Romulans survive? There were more than 1 billion Romulans and Remans off-planet when the Romulan system was hit. Most of them were on colony worlds far from the supernova. The Romulans had more than their share of trouble since they lost their homeworld. Now Empress Sela rules with a titanium fist. Sela on the throne can't be good for the Federation. Her mother was a human Starfleet officer, and Sela hates the Federation because of it. The Romulans want revenge. Revenge for their homeworld. Revenge for everyone who died. Revenge for all the power that they've lost. Frankly, Commander, the Romulans don't have anything left to lose. That makes them more dangerous than they've ever been before. Okay, ready to go? Packed and ready, the USS Tucker is waiting for me at the starbase. They'll be taking me to the Hobus system. Maybe this time we'll find the clues we need to solve the mystery. So we learned a lot of information just now, and that is information that we are actually going to expand upon as we play this game all the way to the end. Starbase 39 is up here. So let's talk about that a little bit, because a lot of those points are going to be important, and they're going to slowly explain themselves as the game continues toward the end. And by the end of the game, we will have an answer to all of those things on that list. So it's very cool how it works out. But basically, there was a star in the Hobus system. It went supernova, went kablooey, blew everything out. It was a big explosion, a really big one. Normally, the shockwave from it, the radiation, wouldn't have reached Romulus for like 500 years. I mean, we're talking, you know, great distances in space here. So it would have taken like 500 years normally to reach Romulus, which would have been no problem. By that time, they would have had defenses for it. You know, it wouldn't have been an issue at all. They even have defenses for it now, probably. But what happened is, somehow, the blast got transferred through subspace, which, as we know, is a different layer of space, and it has different properties than normal space. And subsequently, this wave of energy and radiation was able to travel through subspace a lot faster, and it was able to get to Romulus within hours of the supernova. We're talking hours instead of hundreds of years. It took hours. So some great thing caused that to happen, and because of that, Romulus and Remus are destroyed. Now, luckily, of course, we're in the 25th century here. There's a lot of Romulans, you know, that were off-planet and that live on other planets and out there in the solar system. So there's still like 1 billion Romulans left. But they're very spread out now, and they're looking for a home. You've got the Tal Shiar, who want to take over everything. She's led by Empress Sela. And then you have the other separatists out there. Then you actually even have the Romulan... You have the Romulan Republic, the Romulan Star Empire, and like the Tal Shiar. You got like 3 different like factions within the Romulans. Anyway, it's all messed up. Sela, of course, we know her from Star Trek The Next Generation. She is the daughter of Tasha Yar. Tasha Yar, who mated with a Romulan when she went back in time in yesterday's Enterprise with the Enterprise C. They were captured by the Romulans, mated with a male, had a daughter. The daughter grew up to be Sela, who is now like what her age was when she left. And Sela is like ruler of the universe, or wants to be. Sela's a bad person. She hates humans, even though she is half human. So that's the basic story. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. All that will be answered. All that why all that happened and how will be answered. But for right now, we've got to deliver this guy, and then we can actually begin the first mission of the Romulan storyline, which is called Empress Sela. So we'll learn more about her. Speak to Damar Khan in the armory. So somehow he beamed into a different place than we did. So this is an open social zone. You can come here and do a bunch of stuff, just like ESD. But, I mean, you know, it's redundant. That's the word, redundant. You basically just come here for the missions. Okay, that's Zeno. That's not who we need. Here we go, Damar Khan. Thanks for your assistance, Commander. Is there anything else you want to know? Well, are you scared to go into Romulan space? Never. The crew of the Tucker can handle anything the Romulans can throw at us. Besides, you can only learn so much from sensors and probes. To really understand the Hobus system, we need to be there. What else can you tell me about Romulan space? The Romulans are touchy. Watch what you say, or you'll be getting in for a fight. The Remans don't even bother talking before they fire, so I think they're more dangerous than the Romulans. Sela's found some new allies, too. They're from the Delta Quadrant, but I don't know much about them. What should I do now? Wish me luck. Oh, and I'd check in with Admiral Tanay before you leave. She might have new orders for you. Goodbye. Excellent. So now that mission is done and done and done. We can actually begin the first mission of the Romulan mystery called Empress Sela. Empress Sela invites the Federation to negotiate a formal ceasefire agreement. But are the talks merely cover for a more sinister plan? Probably. You may have heard about the tragedy at Kittimer. Empress Sela attempted to disrupt the conference with a bomb, resulting in the death of Commander Tamir. Now Sela is offering a political reconciliation with the Federation, despite the fact that we have allied with the Romulan Republic. She has invited Federation diplomats to meet her delegation at a secure base on the edge of the neutral zone. However, we have recently received intelligence that Sela is amassing a fleet. We are sending you with the peace delegation as cover for your investigation into Sela's activities. This is a very delicate situation. You must try to covertly obtain information about Sela's plans without disrupting our peace efforts or upsetting Sela. However, we do have an agent in her retinue which will help you. Head to the Agramama system and attend a conference with Empress Sela. We will get a career-specific kit reward and something called either an overcharged plasma sniper rifle or a personal covariant shield. Sounds nice. Let's go see what Sela has to say. She's obviously putting on a front here, and we're actually playing the spy. I've got to say, I love the Romulan missions. They're probably my favorite in the game. So, completing this mission will definitely take us around to 29, and then the next one will probably take us to 30 after that, and then we can get our new ship and go through all our skill points and do the whole shebang. That'll be pretty fun. I love getting new ships. New ship time is fun time in Star Trek Online. Hey, that rhymes. I gotta remember, see, I had more energy credits. I gotta remember that some DOF missions cost energy credits to start, and that has taken me down, actually. I need to be careful of that, because I must have added one that cost a lot of lost a lot of energy credits. Because I lost a lot of energy credits just now. Oh well, I'll have to keep an eye on that. Now there are things we could do like these deep space encounters. I don't want to do it right now, but maybe we'll do like a video where we go out here, maybe on our next ship because it'll be better. And we'll go out here and we'll just do a video on doing some of these deep space encounters because they're kind of fun. And they do test your abilities really well. You get dilithium and other rewards for them. They're very cool to do. So you get expertise, you get XP, you get dilithium, and you get R&D material. So they're very useful if you want to just gain things. Also useful to gain energy credits because you can take all the loot from the ships you're destroying and use that for energy credits. So these deep space encounters are something that could be beneficial to us. We may actually do it right after we hit 30 or right before we get our ship actually. Maybe that's a good idea, so that way we'll have some more energy credits for our next ship. I don't know, we'll see. It'd be cool to show you that anyway. Agramama. Here we go. Empress Sela. We have arrived in the Agramama system, Captain. Incoming hail, sir. Do you want me to put it on the main view screen?
Greetings and welcome to Agramama. I am pleased that Starfleet sent such a notable officer as its representative at this conference. Please enter a standard orbit and transport down to these coordinates. This meeting may mark the beginning of a new day for the Federation and the Romulan Star Empire.
Yeah, sure. Empress Sela, whatever you say. Obviously voiced by the actress, the real actress, Denise Crosby. They brought her in for a lot of voice acting for Empress Sela, so that is excellent. I hope we find a patch to peace. There has been too much conflict between our peoples. Interplanetary orbit. Okay, let's beam down. Let's take Eliza and my healer to Vrel in case I need her. Always good to have a healer. And another long load time as well. Those are also not helpful. Come on, you can do it. I know you can. Load. There we go. Talk to Sela. Oh, here she is in person. She is looking the other way. Hello, I'm over here. Her eyes are like glazed somewhere.
The rest of the delegates are already in the conference room. My aide, Jevem, will take you there. I have some business to attend to before we begin.
Does it look like one of her eyes is off-centered? Kinda does to me. It's a pleasure to meet you, Empress. I look forward to a productive conversation. Yeah, right. Production my butt. Pretty planet, though. Follow Jevem. Okay, talk to diplomats. Talk to Federation diplomats and Romulan diplomats. We've got all kinds of people here. Look at this. Talk to Federation diplomat.
I thought the Federation's alliance with the Romulan Republic would be the end of any meaningful dialogues with Empress Sela. After all, she considers the Republic to be a terrorist organization. She may have an ulterior motive for inviting us here, but we had to take the chance that Sela's offer to negotiate is sincere and act in kind. The Federation must pursue every avenue for peace.
I agree. Maybe she's seen how pointless. I doubt it. She hasn't.
The Romulans can be so difficult to deal with, especially these Imperials. They are forever setting traps, twisting words, and jockeying for advantage. Even a conference with the Klingons would be preferable. At least you know where you stand with Klingons. I'm reminded of a line I read once in an ancient Earth text. hide a knife behind a smile. Every smile here hides a knife.
I'll be on my guard, and you have interesting blue eyes.
We are so pleased that you were able to attend our conference. The Empire was quite dismayed at your decision to support the terrorist insurgents rather than the rightful government of the Romulan people. So much for your vaunted Prime Directive. In any case, neither of us benefit from extended conflict. So, despite your questionable alliances, we are choosing to open negotiations in hopes of normalizing relations between the Federation and the Romulan Star Empire.
Okay. That doesn't sound genuine to me, though, but okay. See, we got all kinds of people over here, too, huh?
It is agreeable to meet with you. You have my people's enduring gratitude for how you handled that matter with Ambassador Soketh. This is another trying time for Vulcan. The Romulan Star Empire blames the Vulcan Science Academy for the Hobus supernova that destroyed their world. They are utterly intransigent in this misguided belief, despite the fact that Ambassador Spock warned them of the danger and ultimately gave his life to stop the loss of even more worlds. Romulans are a most illogical people. Sometimes I find it hard to believe we were once a single species.
Indeed.
Welcome to Agramma. Isn't this a lovely facility? You must tour the atrium later. Hard to believe this system was infested by Orion pirates not long ago. You know, some of my colleagues were against this meeting, but I lobbied for it. I said the entire Federation cannot be as blind as the people who were at the farce at Kittimer. If you just see the problems the Romulan Republic are causing, I'm sure you can persuade your government to reconsider their rash choice and sever their agreements with these rebels.
It will take more than a warm welcome to make us change our minds about the Republic.
I am so pleased to see the Federation recognize and attempt to rectify its past mistakes. I knew that a people as clever as yours would realize eventually that it is folly to antagonize the Romulan Star Empire. I am also confident it will only be a matter of time before you realize that you have made a grievous error by allying yourselves with terrorists, scoundrels, and thieves. The sooner you renounce your poorly considered alliance with the so-called Romulan Republic, the sooner we will be able to come to a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Okay, now what?
I apologize for the interruption. My name is Tokav. I am one of the stewards here. We've had a slight complication with the dietary requirements of some of your delegation. Could I borrow you for a moment so we can clear this up?
Dietary... what? I guess so, but I'm not sure how much help I'll be. Follow Tokath. My delegates have dietary supplemental requirements that are odd. Okay. It's a bit suspicious, but sure.
Franklin Drake says you can be trusted, and that is enough for me. There's more going on here than a diplomatic conference. Sela has no interest in courting the Federation. So why is she suddenly doing so now? We're going to find out what she's up to.
What do you propose?
The lower level of this facility is off limits to everyone but the Empress and her aides. But that access hatch right over there opens up to a maintenance tunnel that leads down. The doorway is guarded. So while I distract the guards, you sneak through the door.
Follow Tokus to the storage room and wait for him to distract the guards. Okay. Sure. We're going to sneak into the lower levels here and find out what Sela is up to. Well, that could be good and bad, because if she finds out what we're doing, it will not be good for us. But she is up to something. She doesn't want peace. This is a farce. This whole thing is a trap, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, okay. Guards are distracted. They don't see me. La 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 la. We're going to go in here where you don't see me and go down.
The hatch is just ahead in the northeast corner of the room. There will be a security room near the exit of the maintenance tunnel on the level below us. access one of the consoles there. Maybe you'll learn more about what she's doing. I need to get back to the reception before I'm missed. But I should be able to cover your absence for a few minutes. More than that, and you're on your own.
Great. I have a feeling that we're going to be on our own a lot of the time here. Oh, great. We're in the lower levels. If we're caught now, won't be good for us. Well, here's an open door. Let's try it. The console should show an access security systems. I bet you could locate Sela and uncover some of her plans. Okay, access communications log. Alright, encoding, blah blah blah. Per our agreement, my ships have acquired the Borg sphere and towed it to the Pilatus system. I anticipate your prompt acceptance of our proposal for new hunting grounds and the interesting prey you have promised us. Prey sounds like Hirogen to me. Please input which security camera you wish to view. Storage facility. Let's try that.
Empress, the fleet is on its way to Vulcan.
Excellent. Have the weapons loaded aboard my ship.
Uh-oh, she's sending a fleet.
As soon as they are on board.
She's floating. She's sliding. She's on a hoverboard.
Hail Hakiv and put him through to my personal terminal.
That was freaky.
Believe me, I have matters to attend to.
Yes, Empress.
That was the weirdest bug I've ever seen yet. So she's sending a fleet to Vulcan? That doesn't sound good. Access the office camera.
Computer, begin playback of file 2895 Gamma.
After I left Starfleet, I made it my life's work to reunite the Romulans with their Vulcan brothers. For many years, I lived among them and waged a campaign of peace.
I remember that from
21
TNG.
years ago, the star of the Hobus system went supernova and sent a wave of devastation across the quadrant. I promised to save the Romulan homeworld. I failed.
Computer, end file. I cannot suffer more of that arrogant fool. Soon, Vulcan will suffer the same fate as my world.
That was cool. Way, way, way cool. Okay, back to root. Let's do access active communication channels.
I have Hakiv, Empress.
Patch him through.
Greetings, Empress.
My fleet has launched for Vulcan. I expect you to rendezvous with us there.
Alas, I must disappoint you. The terrorist cells of the Romulan Republic demand my full attention.
Kittimer did not go as planned. That was missing.
Spare me your excuses, Hakiv. Nothing is more important than avenging the destruction of our homeworld. You disappoint me, Hakiv. I trust you will not do so again.
They really have it out for like everybody. The Vulcans, the humans. Access transport inhibitor system. Disable that. We cannot allow Sela to use those weapons. We must destroy them before she can load them. Okay, we need to destroy the weapons before she can load them. Well, that's going to be great. Thalaron signatures from these crates, they must be what we want. What's really weird, though, is we're about to actually blow up Thalaron weapons. Does that sound like a good plan to you? Because that sounds kind of very destructive to me. Oh, come on, where's the last one? Here we go. Get clear of the blast zone. I would think so. Like, get away from the whole star system.
I should have known the Federation would send spies instead of diplomats. And you call us treacherous.
That would have been a much bigger explosion.
No matter. You may have destroyed these weapons, but my fleet is already en route to Vulcan. You cannot stop what has begun. Guards! Capture the intruders!
I can try. Those guards really did not do a good job at all.
Whatever you did down there, it made quite an impression. Good work on disabling the transport inhibitor. Your ambassadors are safely back on their ships, but I had to blow my cover to get them there. Now it's time for me to get out while I still can.
Farewell. Thanks for your help, Toketh. I hope we meet again. Okay, now we gotta go to our ship and we gotta stop a fleet of Romulans against the Vulcans. They're mad at the Vulcans of all people now. Commander, the satellites are emitting a dampening field that knocked our enemies offline. The diplomatic vessels have been similarly affected. Captain, the vessels carrying the other delegates to the conference are trapped by their own satellites. We must rescue them. Okay. Rescue away.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
Thank you for rescuing us.
Target's shields have failed. Warning. Ship is under attack. Target's shields
I
have failed.
would not have believed anyone capable of this treachery, even Sela.
Four shields failing.
Uh-oh.
Hull integrity below 25%.
Crap. Oh, donkey butt. Can't wait to get a new ship. I gotta do this on my own, apparently. Yep, I cannot wait to get a new ship and get it upgraded with some better gear.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Wow, I'm like doing barely any damage to this thing. Oh, there we go. That was rough, man. Not very good against the Daredexes. That's not going to be good for the Romulan missions. At least we're going to be upgrading to a new ship before we start the Romulan missions. The other ones, at least.
Target's shields have failed.
I thought we'd never be free of that blasted field. I'm gonna recommend you get a commendation.
Thank you. I'd like one.
Four shields failing. Hull integrity below 50%. Hull integrity below 25%. Target's shields have failed.
Whew, barely made it out of that one without exploding. Look how much damage I took. Communication systems now available. Hail Admiral
I had not
Tanay.
expected to hear from you so soon. Was your mission successful?
Sela has launched an attack fleet and her target is Vulcan.
I should have expected as much. You cannot trust them. I never do. I am contacting all available ships. We will meet you there.
Sounds good. Do we get to see some Vulcan ships finally? Alright, we've done all we can do here and I'm transmitting emergency signals to Starfleet Command. Warp to the Vulcan system. Let's save the Vulcans from the Romulans. Apparently. With my little tiny ship. And I'm only a commander.
Thanks to your warning, we were able to divert some ships to defend Vulcan. I have come to personally command the defense.
Good.
The other forces have already been briefed. Your role in this battle will be to defend the science vessels that have set up a tachyon detection grid to detect any cloaked Romulan ships. We cannot allow any enemy ships to slip through.
Good.
The ships maintaining the grid will be priority targets for the Romulans, but they must remain in position or the grid will collapse. That is why I need you to protect them.
You got it. Protect the grid. Defend science vessels. That is cool.
How can you fight what you cannot see? Surrender now, and I may give you a merciful death.
Oh.
Our tachyon detection grid has revealed scout ships attempting to penetrate the perimeter.
Of course. Oh, they're way over there. Let's take them out.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target shields have failed.
Your attempts to interfere are meaningless. Vulcan must pay for its crimes.
Okay, next. Uh-oh.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed. Rear shields failing.
You cannot
Hull
oppose the
integrity
will of
below
the Romulan
75%.
people. We are eternal. All forces, advance and destroy them.
Sela has launched her assault. Science vessels, maintain formation. All other forces converge on the Romulan fleet.
Let's help the fleet. Defeat Romulan fleet. Great.
Shields have failed. 4 shields failing. Hull integrity below 75%. Hull integrity below 50%.
Nice. There we go. Accolade complete. Trouble for the Tal Shiar. Crap, there's more of them.
Reinforcements are en route. Hold the line.
Yay, we got reinforcements too.
I'll follow your lead.
Crap. Oh crap, they're like all over the place. This is a big battle. It's a huge battle. I'm about to die. I'm on fire. I'm burning. I'm gonna take one out if I try to take one out with my explosions. Do some kind of damage. It's a big battle. Look at that go. I love it. That is a cool battle, my friends. That's a space battle, all right. That is a space battle.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
Oh, there's a scimitar.
Target's shields have failed. Warning. Ship is under attack.
Get rid of these smaller ships, that way everybody can focus on the scimitar. See, now we can all focus fire on this one ship. Sela's ship is close.
You may have won this day, but the fight will continue.
Uh-oh, she got away.
Romulus will be avenged. There will be blood for blood, death for death. My world is gone. I will not rest until Vulcan suffers the same fate.
Dang, she has got it out for Vulcan. Vulcan is not to blame, Sela. The Federation wants peace with your people.
Indeed. Then why does Starfleet use ships equipped with weapons of mass destruction? Why did the Vulcan Science Council willfully refuse to assist us when there was a chance to save our world?
They did.
Sorrow in my life can be laid at the feet of the Federation.
Man, you are blinded by anger and grief. I hope you see the truth before it's too late. I am detecting some unusual energy signatures from some of the debris from the Romulan vessels. Move us in closer and scan the debris. Okay. Something to scan, huh? Sir, the debris has traces of Borg energy signatures. I think the Romulans may have modified their ships with Borg technology. That's something to look into, alright. Yep. Romulans with Borg technology, not good. Or Tal Shiar with Romulan technology, or Borg technology, not good. Wow, Sela, you are one angry little person. I doubt we have seen the last of Sela. The people of Vulcan and Starfleet Command both asked me to congratulate you on averting what could have been a terrible disaster. Clearly, she has been blinded by anger. Perhaps in time, Sela will come to realize that Vulcan and Starfleet were not to blame for the destruction of Romulus. I am deeply concerned by your discovery of Romulan attempts to modify Borg technology. Such attempts in the past have led only to disaster, but Sela is desperate to hold the remnants of the Romulan Empire together, and desperate people take the greatest risks. We were very fortunate to get the information we did from Section 31. Even I don't know exactly who is involved or from where Section 31 gets its authorization to act. It has very highly placed allies, many of whom work to protect the organization from scrutiny. I doubt this will be the last time you encounter them, Commander. You need to stay on your guard. Great. Section 31 to worry about, too. We get a choice here. Well, I do know that we are going to be getting an upgrade here very shortly to 30, so level 6 stuff is not going to be extremely useful, but I'll go ahead and take this personal covariance shield, and we'll compare it with what I could get at Mark 7 or 8 and see if it is better or not.
Congratulations, Commander.
And we are now 29. We get nothing special at 29, but we are level 29, and look how close we are to 30 for our next ship. That means the next mission, Desperate Measures, will definitely take us to 30. And then we can get a new ship. That will be fun. Alright, I'm going to save that shield and compare it. Okay, so at this point, that's where we'll end the video. That was Empress Sela, a very cool introduction to Empress Sela. and her anger and rage that she has against everybody. But very cool nonetheless. So, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.